Squid Games is over, but only in Korea. For those of you who liked the series and were worried about the fate of each player, I have good news. The series will continue in America. Some Korean fans have criticized this and said that they will not watch the American version. I understand them because Squid Game is more than a series for Korean fans. The series reflects real life in Korea, and this profound connection is precisely why an American version might fall flat for them. For many Korean viewers, Squid Game is a mirror reflecting the harsh realities of their society. The crippling debt, the fierce competition for limited opportunities, the pressure to maintain a facade of success, and the underlying desperation are not abstract concepts, but lived experiences for a significant portion of the population. When a Korean fan watches Squid Game, they see their neighbors, their friends, or even themselves in the characters facing impossible choices. They understand the nuances of the societal pressures that drive individuals to such extreme lengths. As for the American version, while potentially entertaining, it would inevitably lose this cultural resonance. While financial struggles exist globally, the specific context, the societal pressures, and the cultural nuances that make Squid Game so poignant for Koreans would be difficult, if not impossible, to replicate authentically in a different setting. The American dream, despite its own challenges, is built on different narratives and cultural assumptions. An Americanized Squid Game might feel like a generic action show, stripped off the deeply personal and societal critic that makes the original so powerful for its Korean audience. The creators haven't wasted time expanding the Squid Game universe beyond South Korea. In fact, it's already been reported that Netflix is developing an American spin-off of Squid Game, tentatively titled Squid Game America, with production slated to begin in Los Angeles this December. And this isn't mere rumor, it's being helmed by David Fincher, the acclaimed director known for his dark, gritty thrillers like Seven and Fight Club. Importantly, this US Squid Game is not a direct remake of the original Korean series, but a separate story set in the same universe. In other words, the deadly games will continue on a fresh cultural landscape, not just rehash the exact events from Seoul. Netflix has not officially announced all the details yet, but leaks and industry reports confirm the project is underway. Squid Game creator Hwang Dong-hyuk has also hinted that he's open to spin-offs, saying never say never when asked about expanding the franchise. Given the show's global success, a US-based extension seemed almost inevitable. The original Korean series truly became a worldwide phenomenon, breaking Netflix viewership records and sparking conversations on capitalism and class in countries far beyond Korea. It even spawned a reality competition, Squid Game: The Challenge, and interactive experiences. Now, with a potential US series, Netflix appears ready to build Squid Game into a multi-format global franchise. The kind of expansion we have seen with universes like The Walking Dead or Stranger Things. So, how would shifting Squid Game to the United States change everything? An American version will likely tackle a different set of social ills, ones uniquely resonant with US audiences. Student debt crisis, healthcare disparities, racial injustice, the prison industrial complex. These are the kinds of American nightmares that a US Squid Game might hold a mirror to. Imagine a deadly contest where each game slyly comments on, say, predatory student loans or the cutthroat US healthcare system. The opportunities for biting satire are endless. The change in setting means the game runners can critique American society just as sharply as the original did with Korean society. In short, the themes of desperation and inequality will remain, but the flavor of those themes, the specific why people are so desperate, will reflect American struggles. Then, there's the matter of culture and games. Squid Game gets its title from a popular Korean children's game, and throughout the series, we saw twisted versions of Korean playground classics. A US adaptation logically would infuse its own cultural touchstones. That means we might see contestants face deadly trials based in American childhood games and toys. After the Season 3 finale tease, I've been stuck on one idea that won't let go. What if the frontman, Hwang In-ho, returns in the US version of Squid Game not as a villain, but as a hero? At the end of Season 3, he walks away from the Korean Games after Ji-hoon's sacrifice, sparing the newborn winner and seemingly turning his back on the system he once ran. Then, when he sees the games pop up again in Los Angeles, that moment could spark something in him. I think he might come to America to sabotage the games from the inside, essentially becoming the new Gi-hoon. It would be a powerful redemption arc and give the US storyline a direct emotional connection to the original. And if the games really do continue in America, I've been imagining how they could really twist familiar childhood experiences into nightmares, just like the original series did with Korean games. One idea that keeps coming to mind is a brutal version of dodgeball. 2 teams, but the balls are heavy or even rigged with traps. Get hit and you're out. Or worse, another one that fits perfectly is Foursquare. That simple playground game where players bounce the ball into each other's squares. In Squid Game USA, missing a bounce could mean elimination. Then there's Hopscotch, which feels like a perfect match for Squid Game's style. Imagine a huge, chalk-drawn grid where some squares are rigged to collapse or trigger deadly traps. Players would have to hop across, choosing each step carefully, knowing one mistake could be fatal. One of the darker ideas I've thought about is the seesaw of fate. All the players stand on a giant balanced platform, and at certain points, they must choose sides. Literally. The minority gets lifted, and something very bad happens. Finally, the most theatrical idea would be something like Mad Mouse Trap, inspired by the old board game. One group of players builds a Rube Goldberg-style death trap, while the others are forced to run through it. It would be chaotic, elaborate, and totally Squid Game. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on what's coming next. See you in the next one.